Hello, my name is Chad Brown, and this is my behavior change project. For my behavior change project, I chose to do more sleep in hopes that it would keep me from feeling groggy and help me feel more energized throughout the day while I was in class and at practice and stuff like that. So, my overall goal was to gain 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night in hopes that I would feel restored and energized throughout the day, whereas nights where I wasn't getting that sleep, that I felt sluggish and just like I was dragging throughout the day. The benefits were for me to feel as if I didn't need a nap throughout the day and that I could make it throughout the day paying attention and just being focused on my tasks. My progression throughout this process was, I believe I started in the action stage because it was kind of just put on us being a project. And then I never really feel like I gained into the maintenance stage because it was only for a month long process. Um, Throughout it, I feel like my self efficacy, before I started, I felt like it was going to be very easy and easy to maintain my goals. But as I progressed throughout it, I realized that my barriers and stuff made it a lot harder for me to maintain my goals. Some of the barriers I ran into were nights that we finished games late and then had to be at the field early the next day, caused me to not reach my goals for my sleep time. And then also, I felt like when I procrastinated for my homework and I put it all on myself at the end were also some of the barriers that I ran into. Um, Motivationally, I feel like I strived intrinsically and extrinsically throughout the project. Intrinsically, being that I wanted to do this to see if it would help me be more motivated and less sluggish throughout the day. And then extrinsically, being that it was a class project and we had to do it. So that's why I feel like I strived both intrinsically and extrinsically. My self monitoring form, at the very beginning, I originally planned to track it through my Fitbit, but after the first weekend we were traveling and I lost my Fitbit, so after that I decided that I was just going to track them by hand. And I also felt like that was another barrier because at times it's tough to know exactly when you fell asleep. And whereas if I would have had the Fitbit, it would have automatically registered my sleep for when I fell asleep. My future plans for this, I'd like to hold on to it and keep doing it over the summer and see if I can get on a set schedule sleep pattern and see if that helps me feel more energized when I gain a job and stuff like that. Um, Two things about me that I realized throughout this progress is one, I'm a big procrastinator, and so the nights that I had homework, I realized that it all just kind of buckled up on me and it caused me to lose my lack of sleep and not reach my goals for the project. And in return, those things actually made me did feel sluggish the next day. Whereas the nights I did get my sleep, I felt like I was able to really get the most out of my day. And while I was in the classroom, it was easier for me to pay attention. The other thing, um, I found myself making plans with my friends, and that also kind of triggered me to not be able to reach my goals of sleep. But other than that, I felt like the process was very good. Two ideas for later on, I feel like you really need to have something that will track your sleep, like the Fitbit, for instance, because it'll track your deep sleep and your sleep. Whereas when you track it by hand, you just kind of have to make a guess at when you fell asleep. And then the last thing is to really manage your time well, and that way you can really set out your goals for the week instead of just kind of going day by day. And that's my behavior change project. Thank you.